Shortly after the Enlightenment, there came a man named Father Hidalgo who strongly believed in the Enlightenment and wanted freedom from Spain. After many years of working with the Mexican families, he gathered up enough information about their problems. He was angered by the fact that Spain didn't care about their problems and wanted to make a change. He encouraged the Mexican people to stand up and help make themselves free. Spain soon found out Father Hidalgo's plans and set out to arrest him. Father Hidalgo knew that he could either be arrested or he could try to overthrow the Spanish government. He chose to try to overthrow them. To encourage the people to fight for independence, he gave a speech called the Grito de Dolores, which means Cry of Dolores, on September 16, 1810. This speech not only encouraged Mexicans, but also many Texans, who were also under the influence of the Spanish government. Unfortunately, while he was going to meet some Texan supporters, he was captured by Spain and executed. Although he died, he still had a great impact on the Mexican and Texans that support him. While the settlers wrote a list of decisions to give to Santa Anna, they sent John Austin to go get a cannon. He loaded the cannon onto a ship at Bazoria and sailed down the Brazos River. Unfortunately, he was stopped by Colonel Ugartechea. John Austin demanded that he passed, but Ugartechea refused. To settle this conflict, they went to battle. The Texans killed 5 Mexicans, and the Mexicans killed 10 Texans. You might think that the Mexicans won, but they actually ran out of ammo, resulting in Texan victory. Beaten, the Mexicans retreated to San Antonio. John Austin continued on to Anahuac, where the colonists were.
In the Battle of Gonzales, the whole battle basically revolved around one cannon. Well, let me back it up a little bit. The Texans had a cannon that the Mexican troops wanted. The Mexicans demanded that they hand it over, but the Texans wanted an official letter before they gave it to them. In that case, the Mexicans traveled back to San Antonio to get an official letter. While the Mexicans were gone, the Texans used this time to gather up about 160 settlers and bury the cannon until the Mexican troops returned. The Texans, along with the settlers, rallied up in Gonzales to wait for the Mexicans. They dug up the cannons and flew a flag that said, "Come and take it," to show their rebellion against the Mexican troops. After seeing this, 100 Mexican troops, following the orders of Lieutenant Castañeda, were sent to retrieve the cannon by force. But a few shots from the cannon and the Mexicans retreated back to San Antonio.
The Battle of San Jacinto took place on April 20th and was a fight between Mexicans and Texan cavalry or horseback troop. The Mexicans were led by Santa Anna and the Texans were led by Sam Houston. At first, the Texans outnumbered the Mexicans, but then Santa Anna received reinforcements overnight, resulting in Texas having 800 troops and Mexico having 1,300 troops. To keep the Mexicans from retreating during battle, Sam Houston ordered Deaf Smith to burn down Vince's Bridge. The Texans attacked when the Mexicans weren't expecting it, so when they did start attacking, the Mexicans were scrambled and unorganized, causing Texas to gain the advantage. The battle lasted about 18 minutes. The Texans killed about 630 Mexicans and captured about 730 Mexicans. Santa Anna fled the battle and hid in a barn, but not for long. He was captured the next morning and brought back to Sam Houston. Sam Houston was called the Man of Destiny for capturing Santa Anna.
The Battle of the Alamo was probably one of the most famous battles in American history. Not only because of its significance, but also because of the Texans' horrible defeat. The Texans already declared themselves independent, but Santa Anna wanted to take them back. The Alamo was originally a church and home for people sent on religious missions, and Native Americans to convert to Christianity. The Texans chose to defend themselves at the Alamo because of its strategic location. They packed the Alamo with 21 cannons and 189 men, led by some of the most famous fighting men, including William B. Travis, David Crockett, and Jim Bowie. However, Santa Anna's army consisted of 1,800 men. They fired their cannons at the Alamo for 13 days until charging into the attack. The battle lasted about an hour and a half. Unfortunately, This resulted in a Mexican victory. They killed most of the soldiers, but only spared the women and children.
The Goliad Massacre, just one of the tragic events of the war. 342 Texans, led by James Fannin, were executed by Mexican soldiers under the command of General Santa Anna. This massacre made the American people extremely angry, which led to the victory of San Jacinto.